Father Tambo, Lord, welcome back to the
Thank
city.
you so much for this golden opportunity. It's a blessing for us to be here in your colorful studio this beautiful Tuesday morning.
Okay, straightly into business. You've been reporting, sending back and forth information, giving updates about the all-important assessment. I'd like to know from the backdrop, what prompted, firstly, this assessment across Liberia?
Yeah, GDS and people in Radio Land right now as you're listening, it is good to gather information or receive information from those on the field working on behalf of the ministry or the government. But the best thing to do also is to also follow up, to verify what has been received by you, what is it is factual, credible, and it is accurate.
Okay.
So from this backdrop, the ministry and the minister and the senior management team decided that we need to take a tour, nationwide tour, to make sure to see things vis-a-vis the reality of the issue on the ground. What is unfolding on the ground? What is the real issue? Are these information filtering in factual? Are they credible? Is the fact? So we need to take a nationwide tour, and this nationwide tour will be headed by the minister himself, because you know he's from the background of auditing. So he was a very seasoned auditor. So whenever you receive a report, you want to do a background investigation to verify and to authenticate that report, whether it is factual or it is the best. So this is not the first time. The first time the team took over, they went around the nation. They have a comprehensive Qantas awareness program throughout the length and breadth of this country. So this was the second time we received information. Now we have upgraded the call center 1416 information been filtering in. We want to authenticate what these information.
So what did you find out so far?
Really factual.
What did you find out?
We begin with Vonjama, and the first phase of this assessment, we have the first 9 counties. It's Lofa, Nima, Grand Jida, River G, Riverside, Maryland, Grand Crew, and Sano County. Very good. So we took the first phase to the 9 counties, and we started with Vonjama, Lofa County. From Lofa we went to Nima, just like that. But the issues that were really on the floor,
are they similar?
Similar.
Okay, go ahead.
Cross-cutting issues. So the first and foremost thing is the supplementary payroll. So it was the concern of almost everybody. The supplementary payroll, we talk about the honor pay teachers, we also talk about in-service teachers, also talk about the role of the PTAs, we talk about the volunteer teachers, and these were cardinal issues that were flagged. The teachers said, we've been working, but among about 14 teachers, only 2 on government payroll. So the minister was able to let them know the progress we are making from the Ministry of Education. Over 1,000 supplementary payroll have been transferred to the regular payroll, which means we are taking those listings from the supplementary payroll to the regular payroll so that we can pay in line with your qualification, that which will commensurate with your qualification. So the minister told them, the first thing we want to do at the ministry with the senior management team is to make sure that this supplementary payroll be dealt with sufficiently and completed resolved. What do I mean by that? We are not going to jump from one place to another place. No. Our target right now from the Ministry of Education is to deal with the supplementary payroll and make sure that the supplementary payroll, all those on the supplementary payroll, they are professionally transferred on the regular payroll.
Has it been done?
It is in the process? It's ongoing as we speak to you right now. Okay, so almost 4,000. Could you imagine? And as we speak, we are making way now almost been placed on the regular payroll, and we are expecting about 1,007 retirement to take place. So after the 1,007 retirement take place, we will bring on board another 1,007 supplementary payroll on the regular payroll. So we'll be dealing with them until at the end of this year. The issue of supplementary payroll will be a history. So when you read the supplementary now on the payroll, it will be a subject you teaching or the word from the dictionary you want to define. So it will not be the issue of the Ministry of Education. We will tackle the issue and make sure supplementary business in this country be finally vanish and disappear from the Ministry of Education. And I tell you, the Deputy Minister, Honorable Latin Daton, and his code of officers, very sophisticated, working with this passion, commitment to see our teachers being happy.
What was the next issue?
The next issue is the underpay. Now, if you are placed on the regular payroll, Julius, and you are not being paid the right money, because maybe when you're supplementary, you was C certificate, and you go on the regular, you have your bachelor. So we need to look at your qualification and commensurate that with your salary. So we will now, stabilize the payment so that all of you with bachelor degree will be receiving the same salary. All of you with B certificate, the same salary. A C certificate, the same salary. The Ministry of Education, we have not been dealing with high school graduate, because the issue of high school graduate is off our list since then. So now, from there, we will tackle the in-service teacher. Why are we having in-service teacher? The in is to improve, to enhance, to advance your level of ability now to return to contribute to the nation building of our nation. So now, when you get the opportunity from the Ministry of Education, maybe through your COD or principal, because the principal need to recommend you, you come to the DO, from the DO to CEO, then you be sent to the DMI sends you to DMA. The process is just, fantastic. And while you got that, people will leave their villages or town, they will come to Monrovia, they will go to the colleges, and then they get a degree, they will disappear and go and be teaching for another place, or working to the bank, or working other places on the expense of the Ministry of Education, leaving that vacuum. Who is going to fill that vacuum? You see the injustice you done to the Ministry of Education? We gave you the opportunity to go and advance yourself. Ministry of Education gave me opportunity. I left when I went to the United States of America on a study tour, then I returned. I said, I don't want to work for the Ministry of Education. Who will be communicating for them? You know what I've done to the country? I crippled the country one way or the other. I'm not honest to my conscience. That is not good. So the in-service teachers right now, the minister is saying, if you come to the University of Liberia or any other university, you've been granted scholarship or opportunity to go and advance yourself, maybe the least will give to you 5 years. Maybe you have some struggle in doing one or two things, but you must return to the classroom.
Okay, let's leave teachers now and go to the infrastructure. What can you say your assessment show about?
Now the assessment, some was good, some was very terrible and deplorable, I must admit. Realistically, some of the buildings are not buildings that you think students are supposed to be inside. I can show you photos, and those photos I will be releasing them with the approval of the senior management team. You see a school that was founded in 1952. You go there and see the campus. It's frustrating. It's regrettable. I'm not going to call the campus.
Is the condition cut across to or in specific areas?
Specific areas. I must admit, specific areas. We have to be very factual. So the infrastructure. Another one is the GPE structure that have been constructed through all the length and breadth of this country. Beautiful building, but have been constructed far away from the town. And those buildings have been deserted. Students are not going using this building any longer. You go there, the buckaball and other things eating off the plane, and the buckaball growing in the classroom, and the huge, gigantic building. No one is using those buildings any longer. For what reason? We do not know. Because we asked the citizens in the town, they said the building is far away from the town.
How can the assessment address these issues?
The assessment, the minister will have a meeting, will design strategy, will come up with a strategic plan that will address the issue professionally. So we're not just going to talk on the radio and be there. No. It's something that administration, the minister and the senior management team will meet professionally to look at this thing, what we all need to do, so that those schools that have been built, around the country will be utilized by, the citizens. You can't have a gigantic building that is painted, tight, and the blackboard, everything is well, to do, and no one is having access to that building. That is not acceptable. But few of them in Sano and other places, they are accessible. But majority of those buildings that have been built, in Lofa, Neiman, and other places, they are very far away from the town. So the minister said, we're going to look at this thing collectively together, so that we know what we need to do, how we need to address this thing with the PTA, the county school board, and the principal and the EOs, so that we can come up with collective decision that will be in the interest of the common people.
You're listening to the Super Morning Show. 0776-089-713, 080-514-096 are the numbers to call. We're discussing issues in relation to education. The Ministry of Education just concluded an assessment tour of facilities across the country, educational facilities, as a matter of fact. So you can call and be a part of the discussion. 0776-089-713, 080-514-096. J. Maxim Bleaton is our guest in studio. He comes from the Ministry of Education Communications Department. Let's see if we can have this caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you call from?
Thank you very much. I'm Yubote Tali and I call you from Zrejo.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I want to use this time to say bravo to our studio guest, and let me just thank him for the assessment made. That we learned that there's a counted assessment, and now he's coming up with those findings and finding a way to see how best you can go into a strategic plan to see how to adhere to all these challenges. But my recommendation, most especially when it comes to schools that have to do with conventional buildings, and those people who came up with a blueprint is good that they build the schools in maybe living the time. But one of the things is having teacher quarters within the environment of the school campus. It will help the school to be in a good condition and to help the school to be in a good environment. So whenever they are having the plan, they should also mention that when the schools are built outside the town, they should have a teacher quarter to be able to safeguard the environment of the school.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. And Julius.
Yeah.
And morning to Honorable J. Martin Britain. And this is Emmanuel Tosia from the school 6. And I want to appreciate you very kindly, Honorable J. Martin Britain, and for the kind of information you're giving us.
Go straight to the point, no time, Emmanuel.
And speak volume to the fact. And the government is continuing to be dedicated in line with Article 6 of our Constitution, and I spoke in terms of providing massive education and for your citizens. And we think the benchmark has been set and laid out by the Ministry of Education, and through the hard work and hardworking staff and able lieutenant and the technician and the technocrat. And we want to say kudos to Professor Asuri, and this is very much good. And our brother and our sisters, for the period of time they are.
Wow, too bad we lost that caller. 0776 089-713 are the numbers to call. Let's see who have this call. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you call from?
Okay, this is very good. I call from Zrejo.
Go ahead, Mr. Go.
Maxim, I want to be grateful to God for you and the minister and the rest of the guys at the Ministry of Education. When you came to Zrejo, I was in a meeting at the Zrejo City Hall. There is an issue that I wanted to have raised, but then the minister, because there were a lot of issues, I didn't have the time. Actually, on your in-service listing, the Ministry of Education in-service listing, it is good that you've noticed that it is not only people out of the country in Liberia and in the Southeastern region. There are people who were on that listing. The Ministry of Education did well, sent people out. Those people have graduated. They have refused to go back to the counties where they came from, and they want to remain in Monrovia. Some of their names are still on the Ministry of Education payroll. As a matter of fact, I work for the Civil Service Agency as a teaching officer for the Southeastern region. So we are aware of what we are saying. And I want you as the head of the communication department to also be on the minister to look at the whole in-service listing and do an overhauling, because this is something that is putting out a loggerhead with some of those teachers who are refusing to come, and the CSA is very strict on that. There may be some recommendations to remove them, and it will appear that CSA is removing people names from the payroll. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your points. Let's have this caller. Hello.
Good morning.
Your name and where you call from?
This is Mobile Google Tree on DMG on the road.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I would like to thank the studio guest for his information, but I got serious concern concerning the program of the government that is to the Ministry of Education with relation to this mass failure in the WAS exam program that has been targeted for students to sit out their classes. I guess that's a reason to reduce the mass failure. But the government is doing well on that line, but we have to try to put up some efforts. We attend some of the Saturday classes. I'm a supervisor too. The teachers are like not coming, and sometimes they do teaching and just disappear, and they complain about that little small thing, which was to be given to them every time when they teach or after they teach. But some teachers are complaining that they have not received anything from the Ministry of Education concerning that. So I would like for the Director of Information, whoever representing the Ministry of Education in your studio, to pass on the information to the minister so that they can work on it, that all of the teachers in the Saturday classes can get their things so they can attend, that the students will be taught properly, and that March the ones will be reduced. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. We can't take more calls too bad. This is a very huge issue. We hope to have more time to discuss it in depth. So I'll come back to our studio guests. You listen to the concerns, Mr. Britton. You can just respond to all of them and wrap up.
Yeah, let's come to the tutorial classes. The government of Liberia, under this CDC-led government, thought it wise to have an intervention program. This intervention program is to reduce failure and to improve academic performance so that our students will come up with flying colors, so that we can be the best in this region, so that we all can jubilate and be joyous. And this is why the Ministry of Education, through the Ministry of Finance, with the directive from the President, that we should invest in tutorial classes. When you have your kids going to school when they are not performing well, you have the jurisdiction and opportunity to hire a study class teacher. And that we should do it with people who are mature, decent people who are specialized in the subject area. So we thought it wise to bring specialists on board, professional people who have the expertise.
The teachers in the classroom?
Yes.
Are they being paid?
Yes. The money in the Ministry of Education have the money as we speak to you right now. But the issue is that some of those teachers never have mobile account before. So if you miss one number on your mobile money, you will
How soon would that be addressed? Because
most of the teachers now, most of the teachers receiving theirs right now.
Okay.
As we went one country and the man was talking to us, say, okay, bring your mobile money. When we check it up, he said, oh, I made a mistake. And as soon as he corrected the mistake, we just hear pam 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 pam. The money start coming. Starts rolling. He starts jubilating and celebrating. We say, you see now, this technology, take your own time. Because if you not check carefully, you will be making some statement and the thing is just in your pocket.
The in-service issue, quickly.
Now, this in-service issue is something that the ministry is looking at it critically. That is our heartbeat, because you are doing injustice to our future leaders. We are not going to have you, educated, and then you deceive us and betray us. That is ungodly, it's satanic, and we're not going to condone that. So those of you that are on the in-service listing, this in-service, when you're there, you're in school, you're taking your salary. Your salary is rolling, you're not teaching. What you're doing, we're helping you, we give you the opportunity. Go with your salary, return to the classroom after you acquire education. What bar have we done, my people? It's your wickedness. and you show us we're good to you, then you take bike and give us bike kick, and you desert and neglect our children, and you're not going back to your countries. So what we decided to do, and I don't want to preempt right now what the minister will do, but I can just read from the minister's lips and his mind this morning, that those in-service teachers, if they don't comply, they will surely complain.
Finally.
Because you will not be cheating the Ministry of Education, abandon the classroom, and then you work into 2-3 places, and we pay huge amount of money, and then you're cheating government like that. That is criminal in nature, and we're not going to condone that. Finally. Another one is that the tutorial classes is ongoing, and look, some countries we went in. Look, it's a competition, because if you have 10 students, that if you have the first 10 students will travel abroad, straight on the government expense, 100%, nothing more, nothing less. The teachers in those countries that are not hard to reach, those teachers, the principal of that institution that the child will come from, will receive 2,000 United States dollars upfront. Those places that hard to reach, the Grand Crew, River Cess, River G, let's say Maryland, Bapolu, those places, those students that will come from their Division 1 with flying colors that will perform excellently. The principal of the various schools in that area that the children will come up with that flying colors will receive 4,000 US bucks upfront. And we'll call them at the time during the flag day. The president will present a certificate of appreciation of academic excellence, so that the whole world will know them. We'll place them in the newspaper. The name will be called on the radio station. They must just go ahead to celebrate, because that 4,000 will be landing in your head like a boiled egg. So we are telling all of the principal now, sleep education, think education, walk education, be the first on the campus, inspect your teacher lesson plan, let them teach according to the curriculum. They shouldn't skip. That our children, learn completely, so that they will make us proud. There's too much fame business. Let's put that thing behind and let's change the story. The issue is not the money right now. The money is not much. We got the money, and go and recheck your mobile money, the account. Maybe you missed 1 or 2 numbers. Just verify it. Your money will be coming to you, just as we did to somebody on the trip. So you see, and the minister saying this is the first phase. The second phase, we are going to Born, we are going to Bapolu, we are going to Cape Mount, we are going to Bomi, we are going to Bagibi, and you name the rest. We're already in Maserado. So we'll be doing a very vigorous assessment in Maserado too, to weed out those unqualified and those teachers who are cheating us. They go in service, they don't want to go back to the classroom, they're working down to some of them working to the bank, some of them working to private sector. They are neglected and deserted, but they're still taking our money. And then people who are working, they are not getting money. That is the painful part.
We hope that you can address that. Thank you so much.
We will address that with the approval of the senior management team. We pray that this educational system will be transformed with the help of everybody.
Thank you so much, J. Maxim Bleaton, Communication Director, Ministry of Education, discussing issues in relation to education, especially the first phase of the nation-wide tour. You following through National Television, LNTV, ELBC 99.9 FM and other frequencies across the country. This is the Super Morning Show. We're taking this break to be right back.
Wesa kuiwe mwaka undo Ekalanga kaiwe Twa ininda lili siya maundo Wesa kuiwe mwaka undo Ekalanga kaiwe Twa ininda lili siya maundo Kura sito sio kamba Sia kivila chuchailu Cha usumbe twinengai Kura sito sio kamba Sia kivila chuchailu Cha usumbe twinengai Kalonzo Na kwa ukamba wa yata Ni mwisi undu twaise wa Maria Likembunge Na kwa ukamba wa yata Ni mwisi undu twaise wa Maria Likembunge Na itutwalika kumwa Maundu mendi tusisye Pili weche ni kwitu Na na wanzanze tunaikula sienyu ngomba usitokamba no kalonza na wanzanze tunaikula sienyu muikatate ukengwa nito mundu twawendi fingo imethomenu muikatate ukengwa nito mundu twawendi fingo imethomenu baito
And of course, I'm taking you to Southeastern part of Africa. And this is what to do on State Radio 99.9 FM, bringing you bits and pieces, information, education, and entertainment. We now have our last batch of guests in the studio, coming from the Partnership for Research on Ebola Virus in Liberia, Prevail for short. I have Bartholomew Wilson, Manager, Social Mobilization and Communication, Joseph Boy Cooper, our payload lead advocacy, and Hassan Kewu, Clinical Communication Manager. In Studio 3, gentlemen, I'd like to say, gentlemen, welcome to the Super Morning Show.
Welcome, it's a pleasure.
Mr. Boy Cooper, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, welcome to, thank you.
Bartholomew Wilson, good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning, Julius, thank you.
To begin with, Mr. Kewu, just give us an overview of this all-important preview of 5 and 6.
Well, as you know, in 2014, at the height of Ebola, the U.S. and Liberian governments partnered to form Prevail, and so to develop vaccines and therapeutics to tackle Ebola. Luckily, though, in 2015, we launched the first vaccine, which is the largest in the world, the first vaccine program against Ebola. That was on February 2nd. So we've gone through 7 Prevail studies now. Prevail 1 was the vaccine. Prevail 2 was the therapeutic drug, which is ZMapp. Prevail 3 then the natural history study. 4 main study. 5, which is the next vaccine study, which is this one is regional. So that includes Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Mali. Then we have Prevail 6, which is the gene study, and Prevail 7, which is the cataract eye surgery, the eye study. So what our constitution today is going to talk on the vaccine, which is the regional one, which is Prevail 5, as well as Prevail 6, which is the gene study. So that's why we have these 2 gentlemen here to explain more on how, what the status of the Prevail 5 vaccine program that people have, have enrolled in. Because we have, before the Prevail one, we wouldn't have it for adults. Now for this one, we have it as low as, age 1 upwards, so that program, has enrollment, people are enrolled, many people have enrolled into the program, but they will break the ice to you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So, Mr. Boy Cooper, telling about enrollment, let's look at the targeted areas that you are carried on this particular study.
Okay, so the research regarding the vaccine was finally extended in the sub-region to include Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Mali, where Liberia was collaborating with them so that we can have the vaccine research on children as well. Because in 2015, we were only including people above 18. But we did not know the efficacy of the vaccine in people below the ages of 18. So during the research, after a year, scientific wise, we need to understand how vaccine work in the children as well. However, we were able to recruit the total number of 3,900 participants across the region, Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Mali, and that was very successful. So for now, we are like following up on those participants. Enrollment on the extended of the vaccine study, the extension of the vaccine study has ended, and doing the extension of the vaccine research, which is the collaboration between these countries in West Africa. We thought it wise that the categories of enrollment will be divided into 4 different segments, where people from 18 and above enrolled first, and during the time of the research later on, people between the ages of 12 to 11 to 17 enrolled next. After a few months, Then people between the ages of 5 to 11 came next. Then later on, the children between the ages of 1 year to 4 years old came last. And after we concluded the enrollment between the 4 different categories, scientists presently analyzing and following up on the data and participant respectively. However, we also diving into the the closure on enrollment on Prevail 6, which is the genomic study. We launched the genomic study based upon the issue that were all in the media and all over the world on how people could easily fight back on Ebola. So scientists realized that our genes in the body play a major role. Okay, but the genes in the body are sequenced in a specific way that vary from John, Paul, and Peter. So why will you survive Ebola and I took care of you, and later on I caught Ebola but I died? Why I died from Ebola? Why other people who took care of people who had Ebola did not show any sign and symptom, but yes indeed they were Ebola positive? So the way when you take chloroquine, the reaction of chloroquine in your body is not the same reaction of the chloroquine in the next person. It is all because of how our genes responds to this drug in the body. So is it that it's important for us to understand the role genes play in the fight against Ebola? Yes. So then we launched that study. So that study gave privilege to other survivors, EVD survivors, who were not opportune to enroll in Prevail 3 into Monserrado County and Margibi. So those were people in Lofa. Those were people even in Bon County, part of Bon County. Okay, and then they opened it up and recruited a whole number of people from the Konubono area, from Vahun, from Yanehun, from Bolahun, from Kamatahun, that came into Foya, and the enrollment went on as well as in Vonjuman City. However, on the 28th of February, the enrollment closed automatically on Prevail 6.
That's great. Good background. Coming to Bartholomew, talking about mobilization, which is very key into the study. How has it been in trying to bring on the necessary people on board and giving them the education as well?
Well, mobilization and creating awareness and education for all of the previous studies hasn't been rosy all along. Going back to 2015, I remember some of the challenges that we encountered in the early days of Prevail, but that is far behind us now. I think you listened to some of the numbers that my colleague were presenting here. It tells you clearly that we've come a long way. Prevail has been generally accepted across communities in Liberia, and with their support, we've managed to reach our targets for all of the Prevail studies. At some point in time, even below the expected dates for enrollment. So some of the studies we even reached the numbers that we expected before even the closure date that we envisioned in the beginning. So it tells you of the level of support that we've received from communities across Liberia. But this is the most important message for us. First of all, we also want to use this platform to appreciate the communities, all those who have supported the study, talking about the Ebola survivors, community leaders in Nukru Town, in West Point, in all sectors of Liberia, or all communities within Monserrado and in other counties like Lofa, Margibi, who have supported this study. We want to appreciate them because without their support, Prevail would never have reached this far. Now that enrollment for all of the studies are kind of closing out, Prevail 5 enrollment, we want to announce to the public that enrollment into Prevail 5 is now closed. If anybody thought of joining that study, there is no more opportunity to do that. However, it's important for us to remind people that the most crucial part of any research like this is the follow-up phase, which is where we are. The fact that enrollment is closed doesn't mean that the study has ended. In the next 1-2 years, we will be following participants who have enrolled in the study. They're going to be coming based on their schedules. There are others who will have to come depending on when they enroll after the first 1 month, and then 3 months, and 6 months, and then every 6 months. So that process is ongoing. We are encouraging the participants to pay keen attention to their scheduled dates and be able to show up at the site on those dates, because that's the only way we will be able to have the result that we need to make an analysis at the end of the day on whether or not this study was successful. So without that information, we're not going to reach any conclusion on the efficacy of the vaccines that we are studying in the Preview 5. So I just want to make that clear to the public, and to our people in LOFA also. I want to use this opportunity to say thank you, and then to also inform them that those who enrolled in the genomic study, the Preview 6 study, over the weekend, Preview is sending a team to LOFA to return the serology results. Serology result basically is about people who samples were taken, and those samples were taken to the lab to test them and see whether or not they have Ebola positive antibodies. Okay, so I know survivors and even close contact are very much concerned about knowing the outcome of that test, and so Preview now will be sending a team over the weekend to return those serology results, and we'll be working with the local Ministry of Health authorities that are in the county in returning those results. We will be working with the survivors leadership and the community leaders to make sure that it's a collaborative effort.
Okay, back to you. Thank you. Back to you, Hassan. How helpful the media bear in this? I can remember Preview's been organizing training for the media, because this is a specialized area in how to report it. How the media been responding to this?
Well, at the beginning it was very rocky, because we are a research naive country, and there was this suspicion, because once you talk about Ebola, everybody was suspicious. People didn't trust it, and so on. And there were even newspaper captions, $40 for Ebola vaccine, or Liberians are not guinea pigs, or so on. So sometimes I told people, what about the ibuprofen or the paracetamol you took? What did they try? They try on somebody else, and you are benefiting. So one thing Liberia can contribute to is also to contribute to public health. So if they try the vaccine, if we're successful, of course it will go all over the world. Then they will say, well, it was tried in Liberia. Let Liberia be able to contribute to that. So we're able to convince, train the media into little reports here, health sensitive reporting, how they report health issues. Health issues are quite different from political issues, where you can say something, nothing comes up. If you just told somebody there was an outbreak of this here, you create panic, everybody is afraid. But you tell somebody about politics, they say, somebody will go by their business and do something else. So we've been working with the media. We've been providing education for them. That's why we have the information exchange. Somebody might call it training, but it's information exchange. Tell them what the studies are all about, how to report on these studies, and how to be careful on the use of certain words, because not every disease outbreak is comes out is an outbreak. Ebola 1 is an outbreak, of course. A few of them you need 10 or so counting. You have to be very careful. How do you say there's an outbreak of this year? So we've been working with the press. The media has been working very well. Of course, there were some inaccuracies from the beginning, but as time went on and we had a series of media training and information exchange, things improved. And by the way, no other organization in Liberia since I was born has ever organized media training almost every month or frequently than Prevail, or in fact no media training so far. Only Prevail has done that over the last 4-5 years, over the last 3 years since we've been in existence. So we've been doing remarkably well. Besides the media, we've also gone to the 4455 place. We've done some refresher customer service training for them. We also inform them, because we know that people are making calls, are calling into the 4455 and asking questions. And of course, we have to provide the answers to them. So we train those people as well. So we provide them a lot of information, research information pertaining to Ebola and Prevail, so that once somebody asks questions, we know them. So the media has been very, very helpful. I mean, coming to this stage now, media has been very, very, very helpful. And we want the media to even be more helpful in the coming days up to next week or even beyond, because good stuff are coming up for Prevail. We haven't even gotten there yet, but good stuff are still coming.
Okay, to participate briefly, we have roughly about 10 minutes to go. 0776 089713 080514 are the numbers to call. Hopefully we can have more time to discuss more about this, because it's very, very important. Let's see, we can have callers coming in. 0776 089713 080514 are the numbers to call. I guess you've been following the discussion as we await the calls. I'll come back to you, Mr. Boy Cooper. Liberia, initially, like Hassan stated, there were rumors all over the place, and the doctors, the practitioners were saying, hey, this is not the case, and Liberia should make history. Liberia is at the verge of making history to participate in this. Have we made history now, since that we've made some efforts from 1 now to 6? How is our standing in terms of our contribution to Prevail?
I would say we have made a remarkable history in public health. I can remember in 2016 there is some sporadic outbreak in Monrovia where we observed some issue in Cooper Farm. There was some issue in Swagamo community, as well as Duporo Calfi communities. These communities were responded to by Ministry of Health requests through Prevail, and we were able to take on the vaccine we started researching on in 2015. So the VSV vaccine, which proven to be more efficacious in human, was being applied in the Calfi, in the Cooper Farm area, as well as Swagamo, to be able to prevent other people from getting Ebola. And what kind of approach did we use? We used the ring approach, where we were looking at contacts of contacts to be vaccinated, so that people who meet contacts of contacts will be fully protected, that they will not get any share of the virus at the time of transmission.
Okay, sorry for interruption. Let's see if we can get this caller. Good morning. Hello. Too bad we lost that caller. You can call back 0776 089713 080514 we can squeeze in 2 or 3 calls. You've been following. Okay, you were talking about this. So in short, as a result of Liberia's contribution to public health, do we have a vaccine for Ebola in clear cut?
We have not gotten there
yet.
We are getting there.
Okay.
And the RVSV vaccine is present, which were researched in Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, is presently being used in the DR Congo. You see, so what researchers discover about the vaccine in Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, it has been proven that yes, indeed, it could be applied and used to prevent people from getting Ebola. So while we stay researching on that RVSV vaccine, we hope to achieve that in a period of maybe 2 to 3 years from now. And when we arrive there, you will be able to get the results directly here that yes, indeed, finally we have gotten a vaccine. But at the present moment, we are still researching other vaccine to know which one is, much better to have the application. If you look at you and I, we are not the same in our genetic arrangement. So such researching on viral vaccine will better help. And the Ebola virus has several strains. Those strains also need to be analyzed to know how the vaccine works on this strain or that strain as well. So, but for now, the RVSV is presently being used in the DRC Congo.
And that's great as a result of Liberia's own intervention. You'd like to add anything, Mr. Wilson, to that?
Well, yeah, I think supporting public health is a priority for Prevail, and we are continuing to do that. We haven't gotten to a point where we now have a licensed vaccine that can be used, but I think results coming from the Previo one studied and study in Guinea and Sierra Leone, as mentioned by my colleague, are now beginning to yield some positive, outcomes, because some of those results are being used for public health intervention. So he talked about in DRC, for example, when we had outbreaks here in Liberia. How soon are we expecting to have a vaccine? We can't say for sure right now, because licensure for vaccines all around the world is a process. It takes time. But we are very much sure that with the kind of support that we continue to receive from our international partners and from the local communities, I think Liberia will be part of history making, and we are happy our generation is proud to be associated with that achievement. And so this is a plus for Liberia, and I'm glad that everyone sees it as such, and people are beginning to give into it as a local initiative.
Yeah, son.
Yeah, of course, and just to mention that, in fact, some of the contributions, these are some of the contributions that we have made. We started the vaccine here. People doubted, of course, the vaccine. Now that we are making intervention, we are making inroads in other countries, such as DRC. And then, by the way, Bartholomew had even gone to DRC, to work with the team over there on how best they could do social mobilization, the contribution, how, to help out, beef up, their program there. And just a quick stop before we leave. Let me also congratulate all the survivors from Grand Cape Mount, Bomi, Grand Bassa, Monserrado, Lofa, Nimba. I mean, just everywhere, Magibi. Those who have participated. I mean, your participation in all the studies, especially the Ebola natural history study, we inform decisions on how optimized care can be provided to address any health issues that they may have, when they enroll or so on. So I want to congratulate everybody, because you see, when these things come up, we need people to volunteer. And if people don't volunteer, then we not know. And research is all about finding out what, how, if, and this and that. So once, they enroll in the study, a lot of stuff will come up. And the vaccine too, things will develop vaccines. And of course, we're going to help other people. Now, like our intervention in DRC, so which is remarkable.
Okay, quickly to you, Mr. Boy Cooper, your parting comments to wrap up.
Okay, we can't stop saying it. I just like to extend our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to the governor of Nuku Town, which gave us a green light for operations of this entire vaccine trial. If Alex Weir was not going to step down and say, yes, indeed, come and try the vaccine at the Redemption Hospital, today we'll still been looking for a place where we could easily conduct the trial. So congratulations to the 25 communities of the borough of Nuku Town. Congratulations to Alice Weir, who was the governor at the time. We pray that God will continue to bless our administration. We also prayed and thanked all of our community leaders in Monserrado and Liberia as a whole for the way they collaborated with Previo team. We also want to tell the county health teams of the various counties, thank you to their cooperation with us in the execution of our social mobilization in the various counties were highly acceptable, and we worked so smoothly. We will always be with them as we transiting from Ebola specific to other trials in the future. We will be working with other CHOs in other counties as well. So thank you to the Liberian community, and thank to the press as well, because they were able to manage the information well. They didn't carry out any kind of strong crisis information. Thank you to Hassan.
Thank you very much. And finally, from your end, Bartholomew.
Well, thanks to you, Julius, and to the ELBC family. I think you guys have been doing everything possible to give Previo the platform that we can use to communicate to our people. This is highly commendable. And thanks to the Liberian government, of course, past leaders and current leaders. I remember the president during his time in the Senate, they all supported this initiative. And we have to commend him and all those who supported this initiative, including some of our past leaders, for taking the bold step, for having the political will and bringing Previo project to Liberia. I'm glad that they made that decision, and today we are all proud of it. So thanks.
Thank you so much.